Leo Haggerty does sports. It's Monday, March 3rd. This should have went up yesterday, but got a little bit behind with the USF basketball game. So here goes my thoughts from a septuagenarian column. In all my 70-plus years on planet Earth, I am truly amazed by the outcry from people for the NFL to ban the Tush Push that was successfully initiated by the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's why I believe banning the brotherly shove would be a travesty. The fact that the birds came up with this borders on the unbelievable. That's until you look at one very specific component of the quarterback sneak on steroids, and that's where this idea may have initiated. Yes, Philly had a roster that was built for this type of play. One, the green and silver, had a gargantuan offensive line back in 2022. Even today, the guys in the trenches with the wings on their helmets average 6'6" tall and 338 pounds. That's a whole lot of beef from tackle to tackle when all you're asking is for the team to get a yard or less. Plus, the O-line has an innate ability to get inches above the ground, and the fundamental rule of line play at any level of football is the low man always wins. And the Eagles do that almost every time when they run the tush push. Second, they have a quarterback that has the physical attributes and the willingness to run the play. Quarterback Jalen Hurts, who has been the guy under center since 2022 when the Eagles first used this play, is a physical specimen at 6'1" and 223 pounds. And this is a hugely important part. Can squat 575 pounds as well as bench press 275. The man is a veritable beast that just happens to line up under center. So, with all that being said, what brought these parts together to create the tush push? My educated guess is the drafting of offensive tackle Jordan Mailata in 2018. Why, you ask? Because the 6'8" and 365-pound behemoth never played a down of football. That's because number 68 was an Australian rugby player. In my view, it doesn't take much to connect the dots. I'm thinking the Aussie guy from down under may have casually suggested, why don't we run a quarterback sneak that's similar to a rugby scrum? That little tidbit probably lit the fire of an innovative coaching staff, especially now that aiding the runner was now legal. I'm going back to the aged wisdom of my dad when I was playing in the late 1960s and early 1970s. When I told him we just can't stop this person or play, he didn't suggest banning it. He recommended, and I quote, practice harder and play better. And that sage wisdom from the old submariner who rested his oars in 1990 is prolific. That's exactly what the NFL should do. Don't legislate against it. Practice harder to play better to stop the tush push. Here's my best advice as someone who has watched the NFL since the 1950s. Yeah, I'm that old. Keep Philadelphia from getting in a third or fourth down where the Eagles need less than 2 yards. If you let the birds get in those situations, you better have plan A to stop the tush push. And you probably won't. Leo Haggerty, Amped Up Sports. Book it, Dano.